Hello and welcome, and thank you very much for joining me in the studio today. It is hot here in Wales, it certainly is. Now, I've got a 10 by 12 canvas in front of me, which I pre-gessoed. As you know, I normally pre-gesso my canvases. Let's have a quick look at the palette before we start.
Time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe.
So, I just got some basic colours today. I'm just going to do this as a virtual beginner's lesson. If you've never painted before, you can give this a try, and I'm sure it'll work for you. I've limited my palette to a medium red or a cadmium red, a medium yellow or a cadmium yellow, some Prussian blue, or you can use any blue you want as long as it's a dark blue. I got some black and some white, some titanium white and Mars black. If your blue you've got isn't dark enough, add a little bit of black or even a little bit of burnt umber to it, just to get it to that dark colour, because that's what you want, a nice dark colour. Brushes, well, I'll talk about brushes as we go along, but hey, don't worry, don't get stressed over it. We don't stress here in Wales, we certainly don't. Okay, so I was inspired to do this painting by a little bike ride. I've lost a lot of weight. In fact, I've lost over 30 pounds in weight. So I've been going out on the bike, and I've been exercising, but I've been doing tours as well. So if you're interested in seeing what I get up to on those bike rides, click the iCard there. That's a separate YouTube channel. And please subscribe. It would be nice if you give me a little bit of support and subscribe to that, because I do all these different things. Go in and check it out. That's what I suggest. Okay, so as I was push biking down this road one early morning, I seen the scene when the sun was actually rising in the sky, and it made all the trees and the bushes all like silhouetted, and there was a mist. So what I thought I would do is I just give it a little twist, because that's what you can do. You can give it a little twist of your own. So I'm going to do a sunset rather than a sunrise, because there's more orange in the sky. That's where the red and yellow comes in. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the painting. So I'm picking up, this is a short flat. Now it's a square, okay? We got squares, we got rounds. Let's not get bogged down with what brush is what and what brushes do what. Just, if you want a square brush, just get a square brush. That's as simple as that, really. So I'm going to get a little bit of yellow on the brush. There we are. A little bit of my medium mix. This can be found on the website www.clive5art.co.uk if you want to go along. That just helps the paint run a little bit smoother. Over the years I've made different things with acrylics to make my life a little bit easier. I'm working on a small canvas because I think as a beginner it's good, because you're not, if you've got such a big canvas, you're going to be a little bit overwhelmed. So always start small and work your way up. That's what I suggest, and it works for me, and I think it's a way that I found over the years how to I can increase my skills. Now I did have a comment the other day, was, Clive, I've been watching your YouTube videos for quite a while and you haven't improved very much. It's not about whether, I'm not painting to show you how good I am. I'm painting to help you paint and to encourage you to get creative and a little bit more mindful and enjoy the process, relax. If you want to learn more skills, or you want to basically see things that are a little bit more detailed, then you know there's loads of channels out there that will do that for you. But unfortunately what you will find is 90% of them are going to be speed paintings, and they're not really teaching you anything. You'll get the odd basic idea here and there, but what I try to do on my lessons is take you through the whole painting process and let you loose on the world and see what you can come up with. Okay, so I'm going to stop that there, and I get my hairdryer, and I'm just going to dry that yellow off. Yeah, so I decided to start another YouTube channel up where I'm going to be doing some vlogging and some little things like that, because I didn't want to. I really didn't want to bring that into this this channel, because this channel is just about painting really, and I just thought it might be a good idea if I just did something different. So I'm just going to do this is what they call a split background. This is just a very loose colour. I just mixed a little bit of Prussian blue, a little bit of white, just to give me this colour. I'm just going to just tone my canvas down with a split colour like that. Now it doesn't matter if this blue goes over the yellow and it starts to look a bit green, because the simple reason is trees are green anyway. But the way the sun was actually rising in the sky, or in this case I'm going to be doing a sunset, was it caused the trees to look silhouetted, and they were quite dark in fact, and I thought, yeah, I like that. So I thought I would. It's a shame I didn't take a picture of it actually. But I know what it looked like, so that's something. I'm just going to build that up there like that. What I'm going to do now is get a little bit of moisture on a brush, no paint, and where those lines are, I'm just going to slightly blend them out like that. How clever is that? And just get that to all to merge in like this. Still using that little square brush. It's a square brush because it looks like a square basically. It's as simple as that. There's no big science over it. Don't let people confuse you with all these words and terms and all this technology, and you got to have this brush and that brush, you got to have this paint and that paint. You don't have to do that at all. Just grab a brush, grab some paint and get creative. Art is about you. It's not about the painting. So going back on what I said earlier, that I just like to teach you a way to paint, rather than preach and say this is what I do, this is how I do it, and that's in my eyes that's not fair, because over the years I've developed a lot of skills, and I can't expect you to pick up those skills in one painting, two paintings, or even 20 paintings, because it just doesn't work that way. What you need to do is get paint on canvas, and I'm just gone in and made a little bit of orange. You just got paint on canvas then, and when you make mistakes, there's no such thing as real mistakes in art. There's no such thing as failure. Failure is just a word. Failure doesn't mean that you haven't managed to do it right. It just means that you haven't got it right yet. It doesn't mean it just means you haven't succeeded. Then that's the word I'm looking for. It just means you haven't succeeded yet. You've got to keep at it. And I've said this so many times before. I said if we never stood back up when we fell over when we were children, we'd all be crawling around on the floor now. So, perseverance and dedication and commitment, and this is what I tend to say, and you can see how loose I am. This is what I tend to say on my other channel, which is Clive's Healthy Living and Mindset, which there is a link there for you. Click the iCards there. Please pop along and support me. I appreciate your help. And I love your support on Clive 5 Art, but I'd appreciate some help over there, just to get the channel up and running, because I want to spread the word to people that you don't have to be a guru or a dietitian to enjoy life and live a bit healthier. And that's all I'm trying to say in that channel. It is. So I'm just putting a few little. You can see I'm not actually painting as such, so I'm just dragging the paint across, letting the paint do its work. The paint will work for you. You just need to allow it to. You just need that. This is a lovely sunset sky. Bit warmer down there like that. Wow, look at that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? How easy is that? Very, 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 very easy indeed. So I'm going to find another small brush. There we go. What's this one? I don't like that one. That's this one. This is a little Filbert brush. In other words, it's a square that's rounded out slightly on the edge like that. It's just a little, what they call a Filbert brush. There you go. There we are. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some white paint. I'm going to add a little bit of this yellow to it. There we are. Just want to warm that yellow up a bit. And the birds are singing out there today. The sun is out. I've taken a day off work today just to make some videos because I've been so busy riding around on my bike around different parts of Wales. And as I've said, there is iCards there, and you'll see the trips in there. Pop along in there and have a look. And I do regular vlogs as well. So if you want to know what I'm doing in my life and how my personal life is going on, please join me there. But I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me put a little tiny clip up down there and show you exactly what I do and what I get up to when I go on my bike ride. So I'm going to put a little clip down there as I paint this sun in. And you can see the type of places I visit as well. So that's going to be interesting for you. And if you wanted to see the full videos, then just pop along, as I said, to Clive's Healthy Living and Mindset YouTube channel. There you go. That looks good so far. Now I want to bring a little bit of light just around you like this. I'm going to do a little trick. As you know, if you've painted with me before, you've got an idea of what I'm going to be doing in a minute. So I'm just going to blend a little bit of white around there like that. Don't forget, acrylics are layer building. So we got our little sunset there. Take this onto a bigger canvas. Experiment with it. Experiment with cloud shapes. Experiment with all different aspects of this. And these little study paintings are going to teach you so much. And if you don't like it, put it one side, start another one, and then have a look back at your progress. And once you've got to a point where you're thinking, okay, that's good, you can paint back over these. So you're not going to lose these little canvases. They're really good paintings. They really are. Canvases, I should say. They really are. Okay, so I'm going to dry that again. I've got in a slightly bigger brush. This is a size 20 square, short, flat, whatever you want to call it. These are available on the website www.clive5art.co.uk. I'm getting a little bit of my medium mix over there. I got a little bit of yellow. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go completely over with a very, very thin coat. Very, very thin coat of yellow like that. So what that's going to do is going to merge all that colour together, give it a lovely glow and warmth to it. It's going to go over that sun, and the sun is going to start looking a little bit as if it's more distant. There you go. I'm coming down there, just a little bit of green down there like that. That's lovely. There you go. Now what I could do, if I wanted to, I could get a little bit of orange as well, and I could just darken off the top of the sky, just like that. Just to give that warmth in the sky there. There you go. Don't forget, this is a sunset, not a sunrise, we are painting today. And this was inspired by a little trip that I did, as I said. There you go. Now, putting that back down, I'm just going to dry that once more. Check the back of your finger like that. Never touch it with your fingerprint, because there's grease spots out. There's no grease on there, so you can always check to see if it's dry. And I don't know if you can hear Molly barking, but she's barking out there this morning. Right, so I got a little bit of Prussian blue. Again, I'm going to get some white to it. Now, what I want to do now is bring a bit of very lightly scattering in some. she's barking at something out there. Molly and Boo have been running around the garden this morning, and I think they've been chasing something, a little mouse or something like that. So I'm sure there's something out there that's interesting, Molly. I'm sure there is. A little bit. I want a little bit darker over there. I guess this could be just remnants of maybe some trees or something. We don't know yet. We don't know. Don't forget that mist. We had that lovely mist that was coming down. So we need to get a little bit more white into the mix. Scatter it in. The idea behind this is to try to be loose and free, and just let it build, because you've got a bit of contrast now. So this is lighter than the bit we just put on. That is darker than that. So it's gonna pull the foreground this way and push the background that way. And that's as simple as that's all painting is an illusion of. It's just an illusion. Cool. Okay, now what we're going to do is put that down. I'm going to pick up a little brush. I've got a little brush here which I call my Foliage Brushes. This is the smallest one that I do, and oh, he's come a bit loose. Look, he's broken. It doesn't matter. That happens sometimes, but we can use it. We can use it. We'd get a bit of glue in there, a little bit of PVA glue in there later on, and that's going to help us stick that back. So I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of white to that, pushing it down like this. There you go. I'm just going to very lightly put in some bushes and trees and things. Like this. I think they're sticking their little heads out above that mist, like that. And as they come closer to us, they get a little bit darker. So going directly into some Prussian blue now. So you can see that the difference in colour is automatically giving us some depth there. And get a little bit of black. If you find your brush is getting a little bit thick, just tap it on some tissue paper like that, and then we can push in very gently. Just let the brush do its work. Think of a shape. You've got to think of a tree shape now. We're putting a tree in now, so we need to think of a nice tree shape there. And that's just going to fade into the background like that. There we are. So we've already got the depth there. It's looking quite nice. What I'm going to do now is dry that off again with a hairdryer. I use the hairdryer more on Jane, actually. Right, now I'm going to get a little, I don't know, a little round brush. Where's my round brush? There it is. I'll do. Very small round brush, doesn't matter. Whatever size you've got, it's okay. Because I want to put a bit of white light or brightness into this sun. Just like that. There we are. Only a little bit of white. Doesn't need a lot. Just a little bit of moisture on your brush then, just to bring that up. Use any brush. There you go. Just a little bit of light like that, just to catch that edge. Okay. Now, I'm going to use that little rounded filbert brush I said earlier. So I'm going to get some white now into this yellow. I'm just going to lighten that down a touch. I'm going to put a bit of lighter colour. That's not light enough. Let's get a bit more light. Or white. Light white. That's better. Just get a little bit of brightness around there like that. And I'm going to get a little bit more red. Actually, I should wash my brush first. Wash your brush first if you've been using white, because what's going to happen is the paint is going to go pink, and you don't want it pink, you want it red. Red and yellow. Always add yellow, always add the red to the yellow. You can get your right mix. Don't add yellow to red, otherwise you'll end up with a big pile of paint, and that's not what you want. Just darkening this area down like this. And there's no tracing for this, so don't worry. Use your imagination, because that's what it is. That's what it's all about. Don't rely too much on tracings, although I do use a lot of tracings, but normally just for ease of doing these lessons, really. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of Prussian blue to that red. Just going to darken it up a touch, because what I want to do now is put a few closer clouds coming in just across the sun like that. Just to give it a little bit of depth. There you go. Bit of moisture on my brush just to darken that edge down. This is a dry, what they call dry brush now. There's a little bit of moisture, just spreading that along very, very thinly, like that. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the thing. I'm going to get some white paint. Now, you could use something that's called zinc mixing white for this, which is this type of one. There you go. That's mixing white, but because that's less opaque, it means it's not as strong. But I'm using titanium white because I don't want to confuse the issue. I said we'd try and keep things basic. So what I'm going to do now is going to put some mist in here. Because I said there was mist rising. Quite an early morning type of mist. Now getting in some Prussian blue and some black. Remember we mixed a little bit of black with that, and we want to get this dark down here now. Just getting the few. See that mist there? It's just giving us that separation is what we want. Bit more black. Put in some, I think it's a wasp coming in. I hope that's not a wasp. No, it's okay, it's a bee. We're okay with bees, we like bees. They're flicking up like that. Getting a little bit of this lighter blue. Just on the tip of my brush. Here and there like that. It's a little bit of contrast. I want it quite dark here. There you go. Can you see the distance and the mistiness now? What a wonderful looking sunrise or even sunset, depending which way you look at it. Now I've got one of these long thin brushes. These are called rigger brushes or script liners. And really you do need one of these, unfortunately. So if you haven't got one, I'd suggest you rush out and get one, because these are the only ones that are going to give you a nice thin type of line you're going to need for doing trees and stuff. So first of all, I'm just going to put a tree in. I'm just going to put a tree trunk in there like this. Just taking that up. As I'm coming up, I'm just taking the pressure off the brush like that. I'm going to put a few little lines in like this. Don't have to be too precise. A bit of light on our tree in a second. Okay, let's put another one in there. Just put another one in. In there like that. It reminds me of that little bike ride I had early morning when I was out in the fresh air. And there we go. I don't think we'd put any more there. I'll just leave it at that, I think. If we got that one in the background, we can put maybe a trunk in there or something like that. There we go. Going back to our little brush that we put all this in, and back into some black and some Prussian blue again. Now trying to get the nice sharp edge on this now. So I'm just loading my brush up, getting it as flat as I can possibly get it. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the brush on the edge. I'm just going to put in some tree shapes in. And these brushes are available on the website, as I've said. So plop along to those. What I found out recently was trees. The leaves on trees adopt the same shape as the tree. So the tree, or the tree grows the same type of shape as the leaves, which was, I didn't believe it at first until I started investigating it, and it's true. So quite a simple, easy painting to get your teeth into, doing all these different types of techniques, and it's fun to try and just practice. If you're an advanced painter and you just want a bit of fun, and maybe you just want an easy painting to do, then just do this. These little paintings sometimes can be quite productive if you're selling paintings. People like to see you painting, and they also like to buy these little things, these little studies. I've sold quite a few paintings like this. Believe it or not, they quite surprise me when they sell. They really do. So I'm going to get a little bit of orange. Where's that orange? Light. Maybe we should mix a bit more up. Let me just wash my brush very quickly, because I'm talking and I realise that I'm trying to mix yellow and blue together, and that's not going to work. Not really, because I want a little bit of green, but I don't want it. I want it more orange than green. So just a little bit of, don't want a lot, just a little bit of colour just in them trees like that. And maybe we can bring in some light dabs like that, like as if that light is just shining through and just starting to hit some bushes and things in the foreground like that. There's a little bit of light there. I want to darken this area up a bit more. See, don't want it too light. I want a little bit of light. And there you go. It's as easy as that. There's a very simple, easy, steady painting. Just give yourself a little bit of freedom. Just create. And the more you do things like this, you'll be able to find that you can move trees, make trees bigger. You can give them a bit more shape and form. This is just a very basic steady painting of a little sunset that I had stuck in my mind when I went on that bike ride. So don't forget to check those out in the iCard. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, and over there is a subscription button to Patreon if you want to pop along, or the website. And there's a video there you can watch as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Have fun with this one. Bye.